Welcome back to Power Lunch South Africa, right here on CNBC Africa. Now, Godfrey, my colleague, promised you a conversation of branding in Africa. Now, last week, the Africa Brand Leadership Academy was launched, and it is the first Africa-focused specialist brand leadership academy. Joining us to talk about that conversation is Thebe Ikalafeng, who is the founder of Brand Africa, basically one of the brand gurus that we have on the continent. Now, Thebe, tell me what necessitated the launch of the academy, who is the target market, and what's different about this academy from other higher education institutions?
Well, I think what necessitated the academy is a couple of things. In the last 10 years, we've been conducting the Brand Africa 100 Africa's Best Brands survey across the continent. And in that 10-year study so far, only 20% of the brands that Africans admire are made in Africa. So we've got a deficit there. So it means there's a challenge that Africans themselves are not admiring brands, or we don't have the brands in our continent. But the second one is the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is now in implementation, aims to boost intra-Africa trade from 18% where we are now to 50% by 2030. Those are two big lofty goals. One, we need to get Africans to love African brands or to buy African brands, and second, we need to ensure that the goods that are moving through the continent are made in Africa. So looking at that deficit, we looked at it as a challenge and said, how can we enable the development of made in Africa brands? Not just from creating them, but we thought, let us start an academy which is focused to, especially in enabling the capacity of executives, of entrepreneurs, and the next generation of leaders in the continent to be able to build, to have the skills to be able to build made in Africa brands. So that's why we started this. What makes us different? Of course, what makes us different as an institution is, one, we're Africa focused, one, we only focus on branding. But to me, the most fundamental difference between us and everybody else is that a foundational module, a foundational learning at this institute will be on African culture and creativity. Because if you don't know where you come from, if you don't know what drives you, if you don't understand your DNA as an African, you will not be able to create brands which respond to the African conditions, and we also wish to inspire Africans. We want to create brands which will transform this continent and inspire the world. And we believe that at the Africa Brand Leadership Academy, we will be in a good position to be able to inspire that.
Now, Thebe, you mentioned that the Brand Africa survey over the last 10 years has basically said that of the brands that people admire right here in Africa, only 20% of those are from Africa. What is it that's been lacking about branding in Africa? And what makes you think, what is it about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that is going to boost that admiration?
A very good question. I think there's a couple of things. If you look at our continent, what we don't lack, we do not lack creativity. There's a lot of commoditized products in the continent because people are eating, people are being fed, but there's no value addition into those. So our entrepreneurs are creating, but they are not necessarily branding or adding value to those goods and services to be able to fetch a premium in the marketplace. So that's the one thing. So if now we are going to say, let us trade across borders, what are we trading? Do we understand the intellectual property? Do we understand who owns what? Have we created value? What goods and services which are branded are moving around the continent? So I think the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement will be an important initiative. That was, by the way, this was initiated in 1963 on the 24th of May by Kwame Nkrumah, when he said we needed to create a single market for Africans. So when this will be the single largest market in the world where goods are being traded across border freely. So to be, when we create the brands, and we enable those brands to move around the continent, we will be retaining the revenues here in the continent. If we're retaining the revenues in the continent, we are then able to fund our own development agenda. We will never be, as a continent, economically free until we're able to create our own value, to create our own money, and to be able to fund our own development agenda.
So just walk me through the curriculum and the accreditation, and also how will the lessons be delivered, and are you aiming to get people from all different countries in Africa?
It's an Africa-focused academy. It's an academy that understands that delivery of anything, of goods and services and education, not just through COVID, but beyond COVID, is definitely been transformed. We are no longer going to need bricks and mortars to be able to deliver any service, whether it's education or whether it's goods and services. So it's a virtual institute. As we exit COVID, we will transform it to a hybrid institute, hybrid academy, where we are able to offer in the leading capitals around the continent the same executive postgraduate education. The curriculum is quite interesting. We are going to be offering a postgraduate diploma in brand leadership that is aimed at the next generation of leaders. It's a very foundational postgraduate qualification. The second thing, or at the top of the pyramid, is our Africa Brand Leadership Executive Program. That's aimed at executives who are doing business across the continent, who are building businesses. We want to immerse them in the African conditions, because we want to make sure that they have a sensibility, they are immersed in African challenges, and the businesses and the goods and services which they are creating are responding to the conditions of the continent and are inspiring Africans, and we are creating value that we live here. Then the third one is focusing on the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are the engine of this continent. They are, matter of fact, they are the engine of any economy, because these are the people. They are the people who create ideas, who create businesses, who create brands and goods. We want to ensure that they understand three things. They understand how to brand the business, how to brand the products, how to brand themselves, and how to leverage those three. Because what they don't lack is the ability to create. What they require is the ability to add value and to create value out of the goods that they're already creating. So that's our focus, and that's our target market.
Right, indeed, you are right. Entrepreneurship is the backbone of this economy, and it is what is going to get us out of the slump that was created by COVID-19. Thank you so much for that, Thebe. That was Thebe Ikalafeng, the founder of Brand Africa. And Godfrey, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Now, your conversation has inspired me, and I've gone to the internet. What did I find? I found a song by Peter Tosh. Let me read it to you. Thebe, I hope you can hear it as well. Don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're in Africa. No mind your nationality, you have got the identity of an African. And this is how we swing out. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much, Godfrey.
You've been absent. You need to be coming back here some more. That's Powerline South Africa. Shortly on the other side, we're going to be taking you back to international programming. And then at 1 p.m. Central African time, we're going to be going to West Africa for their version of Powerline Africa. So please stick around.